Alright, I think it's actually working today, guys. I tried last night for hours to get this to work with the new camera, and I had to go back to my older computer. It is being a complete butthole. So there's that. But I have the camera set up on a sliding rail right now, so it's cool. I can show you what I'm mixing, and then slide you over to show you the pour and back, and excuse my flappy arms. I'd wear a sweater, but it would get destroyed, and it's warm in this room, and I don't have a fan in here. And it's not air conditioned because then it makes the paintings dry too slow. So there's that. Let me see if I can adjust this for now. I need to get a new cap for this one. Tie down for my one stand. But okay, I don't know if anybody's watching it. I'll try to pull it up on my phone so I can see too. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, come in if you have questions or you want to talk, or whatever, come into YouNow and log in there because that's the only place where I can see the comments while I'm live streaming. I'm going to pull it up on my phone so I can keep track of it a little easier because I can't actually see when I'm streaming in that window. Hi Camille, thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing some paintings today. Hopefully that's my goal. Just trying to get everything set up. I've got my paint all ready. Got my canvases ready. I think I've got 10 ready for today. Let me know if you can see everything and hear me okay. Hey Jedi. It's one of my kitties back there hanging out. I still haven't gotten everything unpacked for my move back into the house after my house fire in January, so there's that. So that's why there's so much stuff in here yet. There's a bunch of stuff I need to put away. I just haven't gotten around to it because I don't have any storage for it right now because the contractors never finished my closets. So I'm closing this. Okay, what are we going to do? Alright, let's mix up some colors here. I have some leftover paint from when I was filling my jars. So we'll start with that. This is a rose gold acrylic. I tend to keep my paint pretty thick for these paintings, but I'm going to try some thinner paint today and see how that goes. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing back there, bub? The Jedi. What you doing, bub? This is my pouring medium right here. I'm going to angle you guys down a little bit. I tried to get a little bit better camera so you guys can see better. It's kind of a butt to get all situated sometimes. Come on. Guess I'm being a bitch. Sorry guys, it's being a total shit. Does that come up here? There we go. Okay. So I'm going to move some of this stuff back so you guys can see a little better. All these are my pre-mixed colors I already set up already. Have a little bit of a peachy pink. That was a bunch of paint in here and I just mixed it together and it came out as peachy pink. So we'll use that as the base for this first one. I think we'll do a little 4x4 to start. So what are you up to, Camille? See if I can get some of my Facebook people popping in. Anybody? What you doing, bub? You gonna help me paint later? I'm sure he'd be great at it. His dad was a painter. He passed away in February, though. We didn't find out until April. Thanks, British Columbia Public Service. Way to let a family know that a loved one has passed away by letting them find out from a third party that nobody knew on Facebook in a comment that their son, brother, and loved one had passed away. And it was 2 months after he passed away. Pretty fucked up, but let me see if I can get some more people here. Just posting to my Facebook groups. Yeah, Lulu. What, baby girl? You can ask me anything you'd like, Camille, since nobody else has joined us up yet. What, baby girl? Oh shoot, I forgot to double check my settings. I think it's 2 minutes. Oh good, no, it's not. Sweet. Awesome. I try to keep these on YouTube as well for folks. So I was just forwarding that. So hopefully some more people come and hang out. Oh, hi, YouNow top fan. Hi, other YouNow new person. I'm just mixing some color right now. I have a champagne gold in here right now. And I'm working it up. I had a little bit left from when I was filling my bottles yesterday. And then I have a little bit of pale pink that was left over from a bunch of other colors last night when I mixed them together. That's what it was. So I was like, we'll use that as the base to start. I'm going to do a little 4x4 to start, but I have a bunch of canvases prepared for you. Because I haven't really been able to do much painting the last couple of days. It's been a rough week. Just put a little silicone. The base color. I'm going to get some other colors ready here. Gotta do my hot pink. Those of you that know me know I love my hot pink. If you have any questions or anything, just ask. I'll answer. I have a little chat window that comes up that's beside my live stream. Let me know if you can't see or hear me very well. I'll try to adjust it. I have my camera on a rail, so as I move down to pour, I can slide it down over so you can see the pouring and then move back over here to mixing. I just added some of my pouring medium into the hot pink. It already has some pouring medium in it. All of these do, and all these have a little bit of silicone in them. But they're all pretty thick because I do different techniques with my pouring. Sometimes I want it thicker, sometimes I want it thinner. It just depends on what I'm going for. Today we're going to work with some thinner pours. I don't usually do those too much, so I wanted to play around a little bit. I tend to like to do a little bit thicker because the paint, you can stretch a little bit farther. You don't get as many cells, but you can definitely stretch it farther. Like if you're doing bigger pieces, your cells won't break down as fast and you won't get as much binder breaking down in the paint. Hi new folks, thanks for joining me. I'm just mixing my paints right now. If you have any questions about what we're up to today, please feel free just to type in and ask. I can only see if you're typing in through the YouNow website or app. If you're on YouTube or just watching through Facebook, I can't necessarily see your questions. Hi, Firas. Welcome. What are you guys all doing today besides watching me paint? You guys have nice weather where you are today. Is it warm? It's pretty warm here today. I'm north of Seattle by about 35 miles or so. So now I've got some hot pink. I've got some champagne gold. What else do we have over here? We've got some orange I need to use up. I have some extra, I was telling them earlier, I have some extra paint from when I was mixing my bottles yesterday. So I'm going to try to use this stuff up so it doesn't dry out and go to waste. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this where you can see here, guys. I need to get a little bit different bar to put. What are you doing, Lulu? You want to make an appearance? Do you want to make a guest appearance? Lucy Cat would like to come and say hi. Sure, hi, Lucy. She's the evil kitty. She's the naughty one. Well, you are. You do so many naughty things. You do so many naughty things, Lulu. She's old and geriatric, and she gets lost in the house. And I have a small house. She gets lost, and then she cries for me until she finds me. The house is only 800 square feet. We basically only have 4 rooms that we're ever in. The bathroom, the living room, kitchen, and the bedroom. I usually keep this room closed off for you guys. She decided she needs some cuddles. This is and then I spill some paint because you want cuddles. Alright, go play with your brothers. My other 2 cats are boys, and my dog is a girl, but she's being Miss Lazy Pants today. Which is fine. She's old. Lucy is too, though. Lucy, geez, what, you're 15 now? And my dog Rosie is going on 13. My little black cat Lionel, who probably you'll never see, he is 14. And then Jedi is the young baby, and he's going on 5, I believe. 4 or 5. Is that you, Rose? Are you coming in, baby girl? Come here, sweetie. You can come in and say hi to everybody. You're so damn cute. Everybody's gonna love you. Come here, doodlebugs. Are you going on the bed? Oh. she decided she wants to sleep on the bed. So she's got some little stairs that she can get up on the bed with. Alright, what other colors should we do? Anybody? Any suggestions? We've got orange, pink, champagne, hot pink. What else do we need? What we'll go with this. Do we want to do teal, blue, dark purple, maybe a fuchsia-y purple, maybe a little gold. Seriously, guys, tell me about your day. Tell me about you. Who are all you? Hi, C. Killian. Thanks for joining. We're doing a little painting today. I'm mixing up my colors right now. I'm using acrylics. I'm going to be doing some flow paintings. I'm just trying to figure out what color combinations I want for today. I'm just doing little bits at a time because I have a lot of different canvases I can paint today, and I want to just kind of have fun, not be too serious today. I'm going to go back to work tomorrow after having the week off for my birthday. And we all know how that is. Hard wanting to get back in the swing of things. Although we did have a photo shoot today for work, but it was just a one-of. You know, as a family I've photographed before, they're really lovely. So, and it went really well. Pictures came out so cute of the new little guy. And big sister was adorable too. I photographed her when she was a baby as well. Just put a little bit more silicone in each of these. Tiny bit up. And there's already some pink base in the little cup here. Right, I think. I don't know, should we add some teal? We'll have it here. We'll see as we're pouring. And I usually don't mix up white. I just usually kind of use what I have in here. But, you know what? Maybe I will mix them up today. Seriously, tell me, people. It's like I'm talking to myself here. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm getting lonely. I feel like I'm talking to a wall. Okay. Alright, back to mixing. Alright. So there's this. I'm going to do some whites. I've got my white in a squirt bottle that I use that I can paint directly with, and then I have any little extras. I have these little tins that I use. I got at the dollar store, and they work pretty good. Got little gaskets in there. So what is everybody doing today? Anybody else painting today? Because I know some of you are probably from my painting groups on Facebook. We've all been doing killer work lately. Love seeing what you guys do. Ooh, Sword and Scale just released. Anybody else listen to podcasts a lot? Oh, I listen to them so much. It's just kind of upsetting. I drive a lot though. I am in my car anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day. I'm getting to and from work. No joke. Traffic in Seattle is no joke, people. It's kind of blows. Everything else is awesome out here, but traffic, God, it's a bitch. And housing costs are terrible. That's a really bad thing. So trying to make a living as an artist out here, not always the easiest game in town. But it makes me happy. So may not be rich, but I get to do what I love, and that's all that matters. So right now what I do full time is photography. And then here I'm pouring my paint into my little vessel. I'm kind of pouring it from about 5-6 inches up. I'm just going to layer it in here. No real rhyme or reason to anything specific today. See, I'm klutzy too. I am so klutzy. It's probably a good thing I'm not doing torch work anymore. To all my glassy friends that are also doing paintings now and still do torch work. It's probably a really good thing I'm not doing torch work this day and age. I did lamp working for 10 years, give or take. And I just sold all my stuff off in the last year. So it was kind of bittersweet, but it was time, I think. I just, with work and everything else, I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. Alrighty, so here's the first one going. These are a lot thinner than I've been pouring with, so we'll see how it goes. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, I really need to get a pillow for that chair. It's a really kick-ass chair. It looks kind of like a tree, but boy, does your ass stick to it. Oh, what? Are you laughing at me now, cats? Fine, whatever. Alright, let's slide you guys down here for a minute. Let me see this pour. Stay in place, camera. Yeah. I need to get like a little hook or something to hold this cable. It likes to slide around with this little mount. I don't know how this is going to look. These are some colors I don't usually use. I don't usually like the pale colors like that, but you know, it's not always about what I like. It's about what other people like too. So we're going to play and see what happens. Not too bad. I'm definitely getting a lot more cells the thinner you pour. That's for sure. And I will say these little microfiber rags are the best things ever. You can get them in 36 packs on Amazon, and I use them for everything. And what's nice is you can wash these up and the paint comes right the heck off. I didn't think it would. I thought it would just maybe soften it up, but most of the ones I've washed came right out. So if you want to be good for the environment, get those instead of regular paper towels. And then these little plastic cups I have, they're little condiment cups. With this, they have lids, so you can pop the lid back on and keep the color. Or if you use all the color in there, you can rinse it right out. And you use a little cup, so you don't have to really throw it away. And actually, most of my little cups and stuff I reuse. Okay. Just using my palette knife here to fill up the sides. And I don't think I'm really going to need to torch that, so I might torch this a little bit because I don't like that orange color. But otherwise, not too shabby. Oh yeah, that's much better now. So I guess if I want lots of cells, a lot thinner paint. Which is interesting because then you deal with the sides not having enough, but yeah. Just want to get the edges there covered a little more. Any questions so far? Oh, thanks for joining me, Sue Princessa. Feel free to like, ask questions, whatever, guys. Painting, photography. I live near Seattle. I have stuff for sale on my website. If you like. The paintings themselves go kind of fast. It takes about a week to finish each of these off. We'll see how that goes. That's pretty thin paint, so let me see. Alright, let's mix up for our next. me scoop up all this excess paint now. I don't like it to get too messy. And it starts everywhere. Just dried paint from the other night. And I just have like a painting tart plastic throw thing down here. Any color combination requests? Anything you want to see me do? You know, within reason. Oops. You can see my wall. Alright. Let's take you back down to the mixing side. Okay, come on. This cable's very heavy that's on this camera. Alright, first of all, let's see if we can find something to sit on so my foot doesn't keep sticky. Seriously, any questions? Anything fun? Any requests? Alright guys, I'm going to be here for a while today, so invite your friends. See what we're going to do today. I think I'm going to thicken this up a little bit. A little thinner than I'd like, so. Thicken enough. Yeah, you guys can send bars, you can send likes, you can do all kinds of fun things here. You can chat, you can ask questions. You just need to be in the actual YouNow app for me to see them right now. And then I can answer them for you. I'm just thickening these up a little teeny bit because it's a little thinner than I'd like. Personally, I know a lot of people probably don't mind. I just like the edges to be able to hold paint a little better. Is anybody else that here? Oh, hi, welcome, B Magic. Thanks for joining. Please invite your friends and stuff if you'd like. A lot of people are watching outside of YouNow, so if you guys want, please come and just pop into the YouNow website, and you'll be able to chat with me and talk to me. They have an app as well, as you can just go to the web browser if you're on a laptop or tablet. If you're on a phone, their app works a little better on the phone. But it's a great website because one of the nice things you can do is simultaneously broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, and on YouNow, which is one of the reasons I like to do this, because then it saves the videos to YouTube for me. And then I can go in and add like a title screen and stuff like that later on. Use this little bit different pink. It's a little more blue tone than the hot pink. It's one of my favorites. I have a lot of paintings on my website, originals that are up right now. And I also have prints available too, if you can't afford an original, which I know we're all tight on cash these days, or a lot of us anyway. www.karinwilcox.com, and you guys can see my work there. I also have photographs up for sale there too. Because like I said, the majority of what I earn comes from photography right now. And I've got fine art photography up there as well. A lot of nature stuff, mostly. What else do you want to do today? I wish you guys would tell me things. Oh no! Ask questions, whatever you guys need. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm just kind of talking to myself, and I'm sure you guys get really bored of hearing me talk to myself. Although I am funny sometimes, it's kind of hard when you don't know the who, what, where, when of what's going down. And this is more of a violety purple. Just to get some other options here. Welcome, new folks. Feel free to pop over to YouNow on their browser or their app and join in, because you can ask me questions there and chat. And they even have guesting options where people can join me. Simulcast. I don't know if I can do that since I'm using the OBS broadcaster right now, but since I'm not using my phone or my laptop's camera directly, I'm using a Brio, so you have higher resolution. I'm not sure if I can guest people in, but we can always try. Just adding a little silicone into each here. Let's do some shimmer blue. This blue here, I mixed up with some Pearl X interference pigment, so it has a shimmer to it. And I really like it. I'm still waiting on my color art pigments. I ordered the middle of June. They're behind by about 3 weeks on delivering. So, those of you in the acrylic pouring groups on Facebook, if you ordered, be patient with her. It's been very, very busy. And they're about 3 weeks out from delivery. Like I said, I ordered mine like mid-June, and I still have not gotten it yet. I'm trying to be patient, but I'm really excited to get those pigments. For those of you who don't know what color art pigments are, they are dry pigments called primary elements, and they're largely metallics. So I'm very excited because the metallic pigments that are available are very limited right now in paint and are pretty muted, and these are not. So I'm very excited to see what Leslie has in store when I get them. This is probably the most vibrant one I have outside of the gold, and the gold actually doesn't look too vibrant right now because it's in with so much pouring medium. But it's a really nice gold. But the one that Leslie has is the one I'm really excited about. Alright guys, here's the blue. I don't know if you can kind of see the shimmeriness of that. This is a really dark blue with pouring medium, and then the Pearl X interference blue mixed in. Lime green out. So we have options. Alright, do we want a really lime green? Or do we want more greeny lime green? going to go with the greeny green today. I don't know why I like this color so much, but it makes me happy. It makes me think of spring and makes me happy. Please, guys, join in on the YouNow website. It's a great place to stream. You can stream simultaneously to YouTube and Facebook, which is awesome. You can answer, people can chat with you on the YouNow website. Please invite people if you'd like. A lot of the people that are watching right now are not watching through the website, so I can't really chat with them. So. Hey, Roses. The best little bulldog in the world is in here. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Say hi, Rosie. Say hi, baby. Hi. Do you need to go potty? Do you want to go outside? Alright, guys, give me 1 minute. I'm going to go let my girl out. And then we'll be right back. Hey, Lionel. Are you going to go in there and say hi to everybody? Let's go outside. Oh, you were in there saying hi. Did you guys see little black kitty? He was sneaking in here to say hi. He's a big ball of floof. He's more fur than he is cat. Alrighty. So Rosie is out putty. She's a nice fenced-in yard, so she's all safe. I'm going to pour in white first. Go with this more bluey hot pink. That's seriously still one of my favorite colors so much. So much. Violet. Shimmer blue. Some more white. I'm going to try not to make too many messes, guys. But I can't guarantee anything. Some turquoise here. And then I'm going to layer the green into the turquoise. I don't necessarily want to pour this green next to the pinks because remember on your color wheel, red and green are opposites. Hey, welcome, Jolly Time! The red and greens are opposites and they're going to go muddy on you if you pour them right next to each other. So if you're using complementary colors in your pours, you want to separate them by a secondary or tertiary color or by white. Otherwise, you're likely going to get a lot of muddiness. I love green, so I really want to add that in there. Some more white in there. And oops. So go with the teal. And then go back to the blue because then we can go back into the purple and it should be okay. And then we can go into the pinks. And I usually like to paint with really, really bright colors, like psychedelic colors. It just makes me happy. Alright, guys. Get in here and stir a little bit. Probably stir a little too much on that one. Set that down over there. I'm going to get some more white ready for when we come back. And I'm just doing some little 4x4s right now. I have some 8x8s and 6x6s ready too for later. I'll do this pour and then I'll go that rose back in. And then we'll get going on a secondary, another pink. Right now this is our second that we're on. Hey Shantice, welcome. Feel free to invite your friends and stuff. We're just doing some acrylic pour paintings today, which I love, and they're so much fun. These are the colors I'm working with on this current pour. Doing a little 4x4 gallery canvas. Let me go slide you guys down so you can see again. I really need to get a little hook for this cable. I'll get a better bracket, one or the other. Probably both. Alright, maybe I'll stay in place there. Sorry if it's all crooked, guys. Trying to straighten it. There we go. That's the paint we've got right now. You can kind of see the layers in there. Sometimes I'll coat the canvas before I pour, but I'll coat it with a layer of white, or I'll show you, I'll do this. Ooh, this one's going to be a good one. I'm so excited! Okay. Oh Lord, this one's awesome. I need to level my table though. That's the only thing. My house is very unlevel right now. Oh, I love this so much. And I don't need to move it at all. I'm not going to, because I love what's there. I'm just going to coat the sides here. I go down here and I use the over pour to coat the sides to kind of give enough coating. Please feel free to invite other YouNowers you think think this is fun, or that if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. Feel free to send me likes or bars or whatever you like to show appreciation. This gets to be kind of an expensive hobby profession, so I try to cover my expenses where I can. Photography isn't exactly cheap either, unfortunately. Although this is much better than photography, but as my best friend is glad to know. He always says to me, "Why do you have to have jobs that are so expensive?" Because they're what I'm good at. I don't know what else to say. Oh, this one came out so nice. Oh man, I love it. What do you guys think? Hey, welcome to Leave. Hi, Kaya. Feel free to invite your friends, ask questions, chat, whatever you'd like. I'm doing paintings today with acrylic. Let me get this one up here. This one is so cool looking right now. I cannot even. This is probably one of the best little ones I've had come out in a while. I really hope my friend Sarah sees that I'm live. One of my besties lives in the Netherlands, so I don't really get to see her very often. Actually, I never get to see her unless we're doing these lives. She usually joins me. I think she's at a torch working class today. That's how we met. It is with glasswork. Oh, I love that one. I love it so much. I wish Rich Luck was in the house. Rich Luck was in the house. He collected out. No. Love Rich. He's so funny. And Peter Mon, he doesn't know this, but we grew up not too far from each other. I grew up in Indiana as well, and I lived near some of his family in Fort Wayne and up in Angola. So if anybody wants to invite Peter to come say hi, I would love to talk to him and say howdy. Alright, back to the... Oh, that is my, where I keep all my paints and canvases right now. I am lucky in that I have a little bedroom that I can dedicate to painting and storage right now. So, hey buddy, do you want to say hi? Come say hi. Everybody love to see you because you're so handsome. Oh look, you want to see some furry toesies? There's some furry critter toes. Those are Jedi toes. This is the best kitty ever. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. I's handsome kitty. Say hi. You know your dad would be disappointed. Yeah, there you go. Say hi. His daddy passed away in February. And so he lives with me permanently now. His dad and I were together for a long time. So, anyway. Well, it's a sad story, but we'll leave that for another day. But I think he still haunts me, so I swear he haunts me. Okay, what now? Some more whites. I'm just going to use the same cup I used last time since I want to use kind of the similar colors. And we'll see what kind of funkiness it makes. I'm going with some purple. So you can see the inside of that there. It's kind of crazy. Hi, Emily. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions or chat. Tell me where you're from, what you doing, what's up. Nobody's really chatting much today, so I'd love for people to start chatting and interacting. It's lonely otherwise. But I know Brady's on, so probably most people are chatting with her, maybe watching other people in other windows, so and that's alright. You can see people come in. Oh, hi Shanti's person. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. And welcome new people from Facebook and YouTube that might be watching. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, just a reminder, I can't actually see your comments right now. But if you want to pop into the YouNow webpage in a different tab, you totally can, and then that way you can talk to me and ask questions about what I'm doing, what products I'm using, what I find works best for me. And I am simulcasting this to YouTube, so hopefully you'll be able to rewatch it if you need. And usually once these are dry, I'll start the finishing process and everything. But it usually takes me up to a week or more to get things finished. I have a really big piece I can't wait to show everybody, but I'm saving up for the epoxy for that one. Because it's a 3 foot by 3 foot piece. And it turned out great, but I really want to do it proper and get epoxy on it. So it's finished really glossy and pretty. And that's going to take probably at least the $100 kit of epoxy. It'll take half of the $100 art resin kit. So I'm trying to save up for that right now. So if you guys want to help out, please go and buy some prints and buy some of my paintings. And that'd be great. This year's been a little lean just because of all the craziness with the fire in January that literally took every single penny of savings I and my best friend had. I have a very, very lucky living situation in which my best friend owns the house that I live in, and then I take care of all the daily expenses here and maintenance and stuff like that because they live in another state. So I'm very, very fortunate in that because living here is hella expensive, and I don't think I would have ever been able to afford it by myself. To be completely honest, so I'm very fortunate with that. And then I'm also able to live by myself, which is a rarity here in Seattle. Almost everybody I know, married or not, has roommates because it's just so expensive here. I'm already getting some sales, so I'm really excited about that. Purpley. Come on, cookies. Vegan Cheetah was in chatting with Braddy earlier. It's making everybody so excited. I know, people are weird. What can I say? Oh, let's do some glitter. I have some hollow glitter in pouring medium here. I love to use. Shake it up really good. Oh. Sometimes the glitter starts to settle on the bottom otherwise. I'm not really going to thin this. It's already pretty thin, so I'm just going to pour it and fill this the rest of the way up. It'll shoot down through the ends there. Boop, boop. Awesome. Okay, stirry sticks there. Please feel free to invite your friends, whatever you'd like. Okay, maybe is this enough for a 6x6? Maybe I had a lot of overpour, so I think so. All right. Now we're going to do a little bit bigger one. Get you guys down here. Okay. You already can kind of see some of the cells are already starting to pop up to the top. Oh! Alright, I should just show you this because this is epic. Do you see what I... Yeah, that. Daily life. Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm not some thin, cute, adorable little cam model. No, I'm real as fuck. So, yeah. And I'll always be real as fuck. I mean, I don't got no time for some posing bullshit. Fuck, and I was having a great makeup day, too. Motherfucker. And I curse like a fucking sailor, so. Alright, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh. Dab that right off. No, I was having a great makeup day. Alright, good enough. Alrighty. Now that I have painted myself in my extension, here. Yeah, I wasn't coming on hair this morning. For those of you that don't know, I also have hair issues. My hair falls out. And with the stress of this year, it's really bad right now. This just kind of helps the paint flow a little better. You can already see. I think this is going to be a good one. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. Look at that. It's so pretty. It's like a unicorn barfed all over it. I love it. Lisa Frank, suck on that. I got mad love for Lisa Frank, don't get me wrong. Gotta love unicorns and all that shit, man. And yes, I'm a 41-year-old woman that likes bright-ass colors like this and talks about Lisa Frank, but that was my jam back in the day, man. I grew up in, you know, the 70s and 80s, so I own that shit, man. My generation owns that. Owns all that crap. I love this one. Oh, these are going so much better than last night. Oh gosh. I tried painting a little bit last night. I couldn't get my live streams to work. But God, everything I was doing was sucking giant ass balls. But that, I mean, come on. That's awesome. I love this so much. One of the things I do tend to do too is I photograph them wet as well as dry because they change so freaking much over the period of drying. This one I got mostly covered, so I don't think I'm going to have to do... Oop, I got a corner there. Got a corner run away. Cover that corner. Some turquoise. And yeah, just pick up the extra paint and then cover any of the edges that didn't get good coverage. But yeah, I was trying to paint last night, and man, I was just not having a good day. Hey, Gebhard. Welcome. Feel free to ask questions, anything like that, guys. There's a ton of people showing up in my chat, but I'm not seeing any messages or questions or anything. Feel free to ask any questions you may have, or any requests on colors or combos or technique questions or things you want me to try. Technique wise, I'm always playing around with different stuff. One of the nice things about pouring on this plastic, I sometimes use piddle pads for my dog because I have copious amounts of those for the dogs and cats. I go through like a case of those a month or so. Comes with having geriatric animals. But one of the nice things about this is it peels. The dry paint peels right off of it. So you can use that dried paint for like jewelry pieces and can embed them in resin. But also what's nice is you can sit here and you can just, let me get some little, I keep little flat panels around to paint too. Because I don't like all this paint to go to waste. So I'll take it when I have a lot of I usually have quite a bit of over pour because I'd rather have too much paint than not enough. And then try to have to mix up more and have it fit with the painting. I hate having to try to do that, so. But the gal who said more cells, I'm giving you more cells today. I don't usually, I like to have a kind of combination of easy space for your eyes and then lots of cells in other places and a little more organic, but, we're playing around with more cells today. So. But one of the things I like to do with this leftover paint is take these little panels. These are wonderful for like giveaways and like for like the paint lady. Love her at Home Depot that helps me out all the time. She's super into this. She thinks it's so cool. And so I like to do little things like this. And they turn out great. I mean, they're really simple. Then you're not wasting paint. You have little things you can give away to kids, the people that help you, at the stores, the paint stores, art stores. You have little things that are easy to carry around to kind of show people what you do. And they look great. I mean, they turn out really awesome. I'm going to do a few of those now. And I just set them up on cups. I run out. I have a shelf behind me here for drying space. I just haven't gotten it put together and in place yet. Because my mattress topper is in here, away from the cats, who destroy everything. Until I can get my new sheets. Because, like I said, I had a fire, and after I had to order a new bed, a new mattress and stuff, and I ordered the same one I had, but when it came, it's different than the one I had, even though it said it was the same. And all of my sheets, my high-end sheets I have for it don't fit. So I had to order some new sheets, and I'm praying they fit. So until I get those, my mattress topper is living in here. And I can't set up. Hey, welcome, I cooked. I'm just doing a little over pour squares right now. Because these last two paintings came out so cute. Fun. And I didn't want this over pour to go to waste. Ooh, this area looks really cool, so I'm going to use that right now. And I can use these for little giveaways. Oh, that's awesome. And then I have cute little things to give to people that help me. I can do little giveaways for my... Hey, Doughboy! Hi, guys! Then I have little giveaways for you guys, too. Like, every once in a while, when I'm doing a live, I might offer a little painting giveaway for those who are watching and those who subscribe and send bars and likes and stuff like that. I mean, what more to get an original piece of art than to just, you know, support the local artists that are on here. It's tough business making a living, so. But I wouldn't want it any other way. I learned a long time ago that sometimes money isn't everything. I used to work a very, very well-paying job doing engineering for a telecommunications company. And I was miserable every goddamn day at that job. Every single day. So I learned a long time ago that if you don't love what you do, you get burned out real fast. And the money side of it isn't as worth it. So now I do what I love, and I'm poorish for the most part, most of the time. I'm still happier. Maybe a little more stressed, but generally happier. So. And that's philosophy for stuff with Kim. Anybody have any questions? Want to tell me how your day is? What's going on? I mean, there's a lot of people in here from Facebook and YouTube, but hardly anybody chatting. Oh well. That's my white. And I'm just pouring in on the extra color that's in here. I'm just going to keep going and doing that because it seems to be working well today. So. And my favorite pinky color. Pinky purple. We should do some whole pink. Some teal. I love this teal. Did I buy a gallon of that? I hope I did. I love that damn color. They were having a really good paint sale at Home Depot, so I stocked it. Alright, what are you guys doing in there? You're being so quiet. Come talk to me. I'm going to start getting a complex, guys. Oh, no, I already have a complex. Don't get me wrong. This girl has seen some bullshit in her life. My best friend, he's like, I have never seen somebody with worse luck than you in my entire life. He knows when he hangs out with me, that fuckery is afoot every single time. And we've been friends for over 20 years, so. Oh, welcome, Lori. Oh, it's so nice to see you. How's your day? Oh, welcome. Did you come from Facebook? I'm guessing you came from Facebook, so you can chat, right? Well, it's really fun in here. I love streaming through YouNow, because then it streams to Facebook and YouTube, which is really awesome. And I couldn't find any other streaming service that would let me do that. And Facebook, while I like Facebook streaming, it won't stream to YouTube. And I'm like, well, what's the point in that? Oh, awesome! That's fantastic. Where do you what state do you live in? Or do you live outside of the US? It's really addicting. I can't even tell you. I used to do this a long time ago. Or something very similar a long time ago when I was in college. Oh, awesome. Sweet. One of my friends lives up near there. She lives near Toronto. One of my glassy friends. But I used to do something very similar when I was in college, and then, you know, life gets to you, whatever. And then I kind of saw other people were getting back into it. Hey, welcome, Matt. I saw other people were getting back into it, and I was like, oh, I gotta do this. This is so much fun. And I've just haven't even looked back. It is just so it's really relaxing to me. I don't know. Sometimes it's stressful when it's not working out. Like yesterday, the pours I did yesterday were just utter crap. They were just not good. I mean, they're usable, but they're just not good. I mean, I was like, ugh. I ended up pouring over one of them before it was even close to dry. But today is going way better. So, the medication, my medibles, and a good bath did me good. So, there's not enough to be said for a good bubble bath. I'll tell you. For those that were wondering, I use Floetrol for my pouring medium right now. That works really good for me. I do have some PVA glue to try. I'm just nervous to try it because this works really well for me. But I'm getting low on my Floetrol, and the last gallon I got was kind of chunky. Oh, thanks, Lori. I'm so glad. These are the colors I'm working with today, but I have a whole wall over here full of, I don't know if you can see there, a Home Depot paint, art paint. I even have some gallons down there, and I have a couple more gallons in the living room I haven't brought in yet. But as far as like the cheaper paints, I find the Artist Loft stuff from Michaels doesn't do real great. At least they're bottled. Those big cheap bottles, their metallics are okay, but their black and white really suck. So stay away from those for white and black. But the Dick Blick paint, their cheaper acrylics actually work really well. And if you're looking for good prices on canvas outside of Michaels, Michaels is great for bigger canvases. Watch their sales, and then just go in person and get them. But for your smaller canvases and stuff, like my 6x6, 8x8s, and then my little panels, I get those from Jerry's Artorama. They're one of my favorite stores. And I do have a question for anybody. If anybody knows a paint place that can color match neons, please let me know. Because Sherwin-Williams, Home Depot, and Lowe's, none of them can do. Oh yeah, Liquitex is great. They have it's really about the binders in the paint, and Liquitex makes really good solid paint. Even the little craft paints, Folk Art, I think it's Folk Art paint, they have really good binders in their paint, and they actually hold up pretty well. I have the big bottles of Artist Loft, and I use them for like base coating things. And I'll use the gold and silver occasionally, but I won't use the white or black in pouring because they just break apart. Hey Purple, welcome. We're just going to do another 6x6 pour here. These are the colors I have mixed up in here right now. There's a shimmery interference blue, lime green, a hot pink, a magenta pink, a little bit of gold, and some teal, and then some holographic glitter. I'm a glitter girl. What can I say? I love glitter. Feel free to invite people and give likes and thumbs ups or whatever. I like doing these through YouNow just because it simultaneously can let so many other people know. And I do I swipe a little bit of paint across the top. I don't always do it, but if I really like the color combinations and I may not want to tilt it too much, I'll do this because it helps the paint flow across the canvas a little better. So we'll see. And this size cup is a 3-ounce cup. These are great. I got these on Amazon. They're like these little parfait cups or something, but they're really shiny acrylic, and you can clean out these and reuse them all the time. So that's why I try to get things that I can reuse so I'm not throwing stuff away all the time. because environmentally wise, that makes me sad. So I try to be good on the environment, which is also why I get these microfiber cloths. You can get a 32 pack on Amazon for like 15 bucks, worth every penny. You can wash them, paint comes right out, reuse them again. And then you don't have to use paper towels and other crap. Ooh, yeah. And that's another thing I started doing is letting, I'm getting really good cells today. I think temperature cooling off really helps. I'm getting great cells today. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Blah, blah, blah. I have this thing for hot pink, this hot magenta pinky purple color. I just love it. I don't know what it is. I have to use it in almost everything I do. I just have to. Probably should have put more white in this one, but it's okay. I still like it. And right now I'm just taking my palette knife and covering, making sure I got the edges covered really well. So you guys can kind of see a little better. Alright, it's washing out the color a little bit, but I'll photograph these later so you guys can see it a little better. But that one turned out real pretty. Should I torch this one, guys? Let's see what happens. I'm getting pretty good cells today, so I haven't been needing to torch as much, but I think I've only torched one of them so far. Since this one doesn't have much white in it, I'm going to see if I can get more of this green to come up for contrast. There we go. And if you're torching, be careful. Be very, very careful. We don't need any house fires. I already had one of those this year. We're done with that. We don't need any more. Try to hold it a little bit away. You don't want to burn the paint because this will dry your paint too. I know some people will sit there and torch it before they move their canvas. Hi, the great one. Hi, Shax. Oh yeah, there some people do. I just tend to do this because then I can pour different size of canvases in the same sittings and not have to worry about changing the tray. And I kind of usually go through with a color flow for the day. But you just want to be careful that when you torch a painting, you're not going to have to move it too much after you torch it. I know some of the people on YouTube torch first and then move it, but when you're first getting used to torching, you can really F up your painting doing it because you can dry, you'll end up with skins on there if you're holding it too close, and then as you move the painting, it's gonna break and it's gonna look really cruddy, and you're gonna be really mad at yourself. I did that the other day on like 12 or 16 by 16. I was pretty mad at myself for that. It ended up working out okay. I was able to fix it, but I knew better. I shouldn't have torched it first. Yeah, no problem. If you have any questions, just pop them in. I have my computer here so I can read your questions. I can't necessarily type in, but I can answer verbally. And I try to set up a nice little shooting area where I can go back and forth between the mixing, pouring, and then the painting bit. So you guys can kind of see. Hi, Riley. Oh. But yeah. Do you have any other questions? Anybody else? What I'm gonna do, I did a couple of these earlier. I get these little flats panels, And I'll dip them in this overflow. And then I have like little giveaways to give to people. And little things to give to like the gals at the Home Depot store that helped me out so much. These are really fun. I made a really cool triptych on 4x4s. It's up on my website. 4x4 gallery wraps that turned out so cool. Ooh, that was really cool. But I like having things to give away to folks. These are so shimmery, I love it. Oh, two canvases. You can totally do that, Lori. You just, after you do the initial pour, you want to pull them apart so the edges get coated, unless you're not coating your edges. And if you're not going to paint your edges, then I would tape them off with painter's tape to keep them nice and crisp and clean. And that way both match equally, and then you can go back in and paint them whatever color you want after. And then you're not going to have to worry about texture or anything like that on the edges. But if you want them painted, make sure after you do the initial pour to pull them apart so it'll drip down the inside edges of each. I can show you what I had two that ended up matching for my shitty painting day yesterday. I didn't pour them together, but it was very close. But they still are very nicely matched. Not perfectly, but very close. So yeah, you can totally do that. This is just a nice way for me to use up this extra overpaint and end up with nice gifties to give to people. And since my cells are coming out really nice today, I'm taking advantage of it. Let's see here. Let's see. I have enough extra in there. I'm going to take this 4x4 and do one with this too. There we go. Oops. Alright, the middle is not wanting to go for some reason. The only thing is these little 4x4s from Michaels, I love them, but they have really loose canvas on them. They're not very taut, so the center kind of buckles on you sometimes if you're not careful. But see, this is a good way to also use a paint on bigger canvas size. And you can just have fun with it. You know, I have some extra paint here so we can do ribbon. I go back and forth. I'm saving up for some art resin just because it has a longer working time. I have some craft resin here, but it has a pretty quick setup time, so I haven't started testing that. That was going to be one of the things I tested this weekend, but I haven't done it yet. But I'm saving up to get some art resin because I have a really big piece that I need to coat and I want to do it in resin. But right now what I mostly do is I use a golden gloss media, or gloss, let me get it here. I do like 3-step process depending on how big the painting is. Right now I spray painted with the UV coating, the big painting I have. So I'll UV coat it usually, and then I'll use this gloss medium on smaller stuff, and I'll coat it with that. And then if it's still, because sometimes with this, it still has that, like, you know how vinyl likes to stick together? Well, this likes to too, because it's the same components. So if I'm having trouble with that, then I'll go in with the triple thick, like Anne Marie uses. And I use the one from Krylon. This right here. And I use the Krylon UV. And they make an archival UV too. So if you're going to be selling stuff like that, you should pick up the archival UV. But once you have archival products, you can usually go in with that as a last step on top. But I'll do that on top to kind of keep pieces from sticking together. And it gives it a really nice sheen. So, if my hands weren't filthy, I'd go grab a finished one to show you. But yeah, but that's what I do for those. Twitch that a little bit. And this is just all over pour right now. So this is just utilizing essentially trash paint. Or paint that. And if anybody would like one with a boob print, this would be the one for you. Alrighty, I'll go over here and try to set these so they're not dripping on each other. I really need to get my drying rack set up. It's right behind me. But I got one that I can dry up to like probably a 36-inch piece on. I definitely can do 24s. But yeah, I really like the golden gloss. That's been my favorite so far. I know a lot of people like polyacrylic. I have had really horrible experiences with that. It has cracked every single, no matter how thick my paint was on the painting. I had some that had really thick painting and some that was really thin pours. Every time I used the polyacrylic and poured it on or did a thick coat, cracked the hell out of it. So if you're going to use the polyacrylic, you're going to want to use the spray polyacrylic and don't pour it on. Just do thin layers of the spray. If you pour it on, you might very well destroy your paintings. I usually buy gessoed canvases. All the ones I have currently are already have a gesso on them. It just depends on what I'm doing, what kind of pour I'm going for. Sometimes I won't gesso them again, but I will put a coat of like white down or black down. I'll put a base color down that I want to bleed up through, but I don't, especially with black. I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this on this next one. I have a really hard time with black if I put it in a pour. It tends, because of the way I pour and the way I mix my colors, it tends to really muddy up my pour. So if I want to use black, which we can do that on this one as a test, if I use black or a really dark color, I'll coat the canvas in it first. And then I'll do the pour on top of that painted color. If you have a color that tends to muddy your mixes, which you'll learn which ones those are for you as you go. For me, it is black. It is the blacks. Then you're probably going to want to do it this way. Just trying to figure out what I did with my paintbrush. I just cleaned up my room the other day, and I don't know where I put everything. Oops. Stay up. Oh. I really need to get a different bracket. Okay. I will find it. Just give me a minute, you guys. You don't have to use a paintbrush. I just wanted to try to get a really even coat so I could kind of show you what I was meaning. Just give me a second, you guys. My regular paintbrushes are, I think, missing to be cleaned, so we'll use this one. This is actually a deep painted gray instead of black. I have kind of even just stopped going completely black. A lot of people are mixed a little black in with the painted gray. So what I'll do, because this will tend to muddy my colors otherwise, I'll put it on the canvas first and let it set while I'm mixing my colors or getting my pour ready. Yeah, a lot of people, some people have really good luck with polyacrylic. I have not been one of those people. I will not lie. And I tried several different, I ruined a really big painting with it. It was a big metallic painting. It was really earthy, and it just completely destroyed it. Cracked everywhere. And then another one that had really, and that one had thin paint. Another one had really thick paint, and just everywhere. Everywhere it went. A little too much paint on there. I just want to kind of get it even. Well, that's not what I wanted. You can also just let it dry completely beforehand too if you want something with a dark background. I just kind of want to see if these will bleed up into my color. So I'm going to do it as a wet. But I'll put like a base coat down like this. And then it also helps especially when you're first getting started, if you don't want that if you don't know what to do to keep this canvas from bleeding through. Sometimes gessoing them and letting them dry ahead of time will help solve that issue for you. Because otherwise, if your paint is thin in a spot, you're going to see the canvas through it. Sometimes it helps when you put the gloss coat on, it'll kind of hide that, which is nice. But if you want to try to avoid it, that's a good way. See, it really helps when people ask me questions because then I know what you want to know. But we're just going to go in with like a really hot pink colors again, because I think this would look really cool on black. And I probably just should have bought a big gallon of this one color because I love it so much. Love it so much. Mr. Rich looks. Oops, wrong one. That one had sparkle in it. Oh, we have sparkly teal this time. I use Floetrol right now. I do have some Elmer's PVA to try, but I have really good luck with the Floetrol, so that's what I use. And I use it at about a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 paint to 1 Floetrol. All my paint that I have in these right here have already had pouring medium added into them, as well as a little silicone. But it's fairly thick in there. And I do that because sometimes I pour fairly thick, depending on what kind of look I'm going for. And then I thin it down, for other, like if I want more cells, I'll thin it down a little bit. If you thin it too much, then the binders break down and it doesn't work as well. But if you don't thin it enough, you're not going to get very many cells. Yeah, you can combine them. Yeah, a lot of people do. I just don't have any archival PVA right now, so, and Floetrol is, well, it's not listed as archival. It is technically pH neutral and archival. It's made to be inert, so that's why I tend to use that. if you want to do things for sale, you know, sell to friends and family stuff, you want to try to do things as archivally as you can. So you'll want to go with like a bookbinder's PVA, because that is pH balanced and archival. Even though the Elmer's glue all is a PVA, it's not necessarily archival though, because it may not be pH neutral. Yes, I do. These little bottles here have water in them, the little squirt bottles, and I just don't use a ton at all. I try not to break down the binders in my paint, because if you move it, if you really move your paintings a lot, as in like stretch the cells a lot, you don't want much water in it. If you have too much water, the binders in the paint will break, and you'll start seeing like, you know how milk curdles, that look that milk has when it curdles? Your paint will start doing something similar. It won't be chunky, but it'll have that kind of effect to it when the binders start breaking down. So I tend to use a little bit more Floetrol, and then just a few drops of water at a time till I get it to about the consistency I want, which is a little thinner than honey, like maybe more like Mrs. Buttersworth. I guess would be a good combo. Maple syrup, Mrs. Butterworth is a good example. Yogurt's too thick. You know, milk is a little too thin. You want it. I use filtered water. I don't use distilled water. The biggest thing with your water is for it to be kind of pH neutral, which if you have I have well water, which tends to be more alkaline, which is good. But if you have like city water, you're going to add a little bit of baking soda to it to neutralize the acids in the water from the treatment. But you can use distilled water too. I just use what's free, because I know I have it through a 3-stage filter as well before it comes into my house. Yeah, that's what I use. That's what I have. I have RO water, and I've had it tested before. It's really good water. It gets actually our well here gets tested like every month. Hey Tiger, welcome to my painting day. White. I always kind of start with the white, and I spend money on good white. I did find that does make a difference. I love the golden titanium white. The pigments in that are really nice and heavy, and even when they're thinned out, and I can thin it down pretty far. And you can get their fluid one, but I actually get the heavy body acrylic titanium white. I usually wait until I have a 40 or 50% off coupon at Michael's, and then I'll like stock up every day. I'll go in and buy some, because I go through quite a bit. And then I can mix it in with some cheaper house paint white, but you want the titanium white or zinc white, specifically those two, because they do have metal content in them, and they're going to give you the cells. They're going to be what falls through the paint. It's good to know like the viscosity of your paints and which metals and colorants are heavier than others, because it'll kind of tell you how it'll separate. And it really does make a huge difference to use titanium white over, let's say, Artist Loft white. You need those metals in there to actually get it changing. And like we use the silicone to bring stuff up, the white takes stuff down. So it kind of does a little bit of both. Kind of gets a little fun and funky there. A little bit more white. Since we're going to be pouring on a dark background. Thicker. It just depends on each individual color. Some colors have a little bit more pigment in them and don't get thinned out as fast. You can use quite a bit of pouring medium in the titanium white and in the Dyreliide yellow. That's one of my favorite yellows. It's like a sunshine yellow. But some of them thin out really fast. You can actually use them straight if you're using the golden fluids. You don't even have to mix a pouring medium in with it because they're so thin they're going to pour perfectly fine. I do it just so it extends my colors because you can go through them super fast. But I don't think I do more than a 1-to-1 ratio with those. Otherwise you might thin it just a little too much. And it's not that it will harm the paint itself, but it will like kind of almost make it a transparent color instead. And they do have some transparent. Some of their neons are transparent. The fluid neons are transparent. And I do like to use those sometimes because it'll give a little bit of a nice depth effect to your painting. I'm just adding a little bit of water. Because as these set here, sometimes they get a little thick. But I don't use a whole lot of the golden fluid acrylics. You can really spend a shit ton of money going that route. If you have the money to burn to do that, go you. That is awesome because they make amazing paint. They're one of my favorite acrylic paint. Them and Holbein. Holbein makes some amazing colors. I can only find them at Dick Blick and then online though. But they make some of my favorite pinks and purples. They're awesome. But Dick Blick has similar colors in their acrylics, and so those are what I mainly buy. And then I buy these to add into them a little bit because they're very expensive. But you know, Home Depot is actually a wonderful place to get paint for painting. Outside of white, I use a lot of paint from Home Depot. Well, Home Depot and Sherwin-Williams. When Sherwin-Williams has a sale, that's a great place to go because their samples are quart sizes there. And so like this size right here is like 7-8 ounces from Home Depot, and these are about $4. Great deal for 7 to 8 ounces. But when Sherwin-Williams has a sale, usually these are only $5, and that's a full quart. And it comes with a nice little handle, and they color match as well. And it's very good paint. The only thing they can't color match are neons. But yeah, you don't have to always spend the most money on the paint. What's nice about the house paints though is they're made with really good binders to be really worked pretty hard. So you can do a lot with them. And you don't feel as bad about going through paint because you didn't pay $20 for 4 ounces. But yeah, you can do a lot. The color shifts from Folk Art are really great too. They only sell them in like the little 2-ounce bottles at the craft store, but they're awesome. I don't know if this is going to be enough paint. So let me create a secondary little cup. I should have, I forgot I had an 8-inch canvas over here, so I should have used a 5-ounce cup. So let me mix up a little bit more paint. Not really quite the same, but should be fun. But yeah, I wouldn't go too much further than a 1-to-1 on the golden. With the fluid acrylics, I mean. Now if you get the heavy bodies, you can do like a 1-to-3, 1-to-4 ratio. 1 part paint to about 4 times the pouring medium. Yeah, just ask away. Any questions, any comments? You want to know anything personally about me? What I do, where, any of this, just let me know. I'm an open book. I like to help people create. Creation is life for me. If I'm not creating, I'm really sad. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I've always kind of been that way. I didn't put a whole lot of silicone in any of these either. There's a little bit of silicone in each of the actual bottles, but there's not a ton. And I haven't added too much in each of the little cups either. I did it at the very beginning, but I haven't added too much since. And I don't know if you knew, but the color art that Leslie Onstad has and that Anne Marie has been using, there's a really good discount code right now for like 25% off. They're about 3 weeks behind on people's orders though. You can keep it for a really long time as long as you keep it covered. Almost all of mine have caps, so I just leave it in here, no problem. The ones that don't have caps, I just put little push pins in the tops to kind of keep as much air out as I can, and I haven't had any issues. If you have a food service supply near you, that is a great place to get pouring supplies. Like these little cups you can get there. I got these little squirt bottles there. These ones are Wilton, I got at Michael's. Dick Blick has these kind, which I really, really like, because it came with the little tops, but they've been out of those for the last, I bought all the last of the ones they had at my local Dick Blick. So I'm waiting for those to get restocked there. But these ones from the restaurant service company, they were 6 for like 6 something. They were only $1 something a piece. These ones were like $1.50, $1.25, $1.50 from Dick Blick, and these are like 2 for $3 from these little 8-ounce ones from Michael's. And then these little cups you get like $250 in a sleeve from the food service place, and the bottoms are like $2.50, and then the tops are like $2.50. So $5, and you have 250 of those. Dixie cups work great for mixing too. I got a huge thing of those. The only thing with those is the paint dries out in those really fast. So you and those are basically one-time use, the Dixie cups. So I mixed up this extra little 3-ounce container because I don't know if this other one's going to be enough for the 8-ounce or the 8-inch canvas. I usually do 5 ounces for the 8-ounce canvas. So, before I get started, let me make some more room for drying. I'm running out of room on my desktop. So some of these ones that need to be finished around. I have a bunch in here that need to be top coats added. Alright. But yeah, if you put them in the bottles, they'll last a really long time. I also got little containers from the dollar store that work really great too. I think you can see that okay. Okay, so this has on it just a base coat of wet dark paint. If I would have added that into here, it would have muddied all my color. At least for me, I have not had good experiences adding black in. Now, if it's a sparkle black or a metallic black, it doesn't muddy it up as much. But if it's a flat or matte black or something like that, it tends to muddy it quite a bit. Down. Want my hands for a minute. I just want to start pouring this one because it's not mixed as quite as well. So what I want to do is take another canvas and go with this. So this gets a little more mixed before I start pouring it on. And this way the black can bleed up through it. Hey, Red Hook. I'm getting really good cells today. I'm stoked. This is a really thick pour with that black on there. But if I would have added that black into the paint itself, yeah, it would have muddied it up real bad. This way it can come up through there if it wants. Not be too crazy. You know, but we all find different things that work for us. You know, Anne-Marie has things that work for her. Lily's mix has things that work better for her. You know, Don, or the Cheetle, has, you know, his way. There are a lot, you know, so many wonderful artists out there. Savi Arts, she does some really great stuff. If you haven't checked her out, you should. She really does a lot of cool, like trial and error. Like she really tries a lot of different weird things, which I think is really cool. Here's this one. Sorry, Come on. You can kind of see there. And lots of cool cells on that one. I'm getting really good cells today. Some days I don't get as good ones. It just depends on how thick I pour my paint. You don't want it too thin, but if it's too thick, it's just never going to work really well. Alright, let's do another little one. Go hot enough here. I had some left over here. If you can see these cheap little canvases from Michael's. I love these little 4x4 galleries, but man, they're kind of shit. The multi-packs, that is. Because the canvas on them really just is really loose. Which is really frustrating. This is just all waste paint right now on this one, which means over pour kind of stuff. You can get some really cool paintings with it, so don't just automatically throw it away. Look what's there, take your palette knife, pick it up, and put it on top of the painting. Squish your little canvas panels down in there. Make some really cool effects. There's a lot of paint in the middle here. Yeah, sometimes these little ones take longer for me to dry, just because the in here is so loose. I don't know if you can see that, but they're not drawn very tightly. One thing that some people do is spray them down with water and then set them in an oven on like bread proof, and that'll tighten it up before you paint. So that's a good way if you have these canvases that aren't drawn very tight. That's a good way to fix it. We're going to have to clean up this overpour here pretty soon. There's going to be quite a bit, but I want to torch this one. And like I said before, be very careful when torching. So you don't want to catch yourself on fire, your house on fire. You don't want to catch whatever you're pouring into or on, like the plastic. You don't want to catch that on fire. So you just want to be very careful. And I can tell you firsthand, house fires blow. I had a very small house fire in January, and they ended up having to throw away 90% of my belongings because of smoke damage. And even though I thought I had enough insurance coverage, I did not. I had $60,000 to $80,000 worth of loss and $40,000 in coverage, and half of that 40 went to the cleaning companies doing the site cleanup and fabric cleanup, probably even a little bit more, and then everything else had to go to replacing everything that was lost. So we had to pull, my friend and I had to pull like everything we had out of our savings, and so we're both just wicked broke right now. Alright, here's this one. And this is just all waste paint. Paint that was down here from overpoured earlier. See, you can get beautiful paintings from that. Really cool. And we've got these little squares again. So it's good. I have one from the other day that I didn't really like. And if you don't like the colors, guess what? Do it again. And you get something you like. Jesus, I've got a ton of little paintings here now. I think so far today we've done what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 paintings. 7 of them are really little giveaway type things, but they're really cool. So pretty happy. There's only one I really don't like right now, and that's this one I did first. Don't like it at all. So don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid to ask what if, and then see what if. That's one of the best things a photography professor told me. Mr. Perfect, if you're ever watching, that's literally his name, Stephen Perfect. He was my photography professor in college. That's one of the best things he ever taught in classes, is to ask what if and to see what happens. And now I like that way better than that first one. Alright. Cool. We've got one more 8x8 to do. So I'm going to wipe this up a little bit though. This is getting a little too cray for me. Did you have any other questions, anybody? Because we're closing in on 2 hours, so I think after this last painting, I'm going to call it a night for the time being. Because I will be running out of places to dry things. So what colors should we do next, guys? Do some with a little more pink this time, a little less blue. And the dry paint from the other night's painting is starting to peel off with all the wet paint on top. And if you ever get like clumpy paint, a cool thing you can do is get knee highs, or go to like a shoe store and get the little footies and put those over your cups. And that'll catch all the clumpies that you sometimes get. Sometimes you'll get it in Floetrol, or sometimes the house paint will have, it will settle a little bit, or maybe they didn't get it mixed real well, and you'll get clumps in it. That's a really good way to get the clumps out. Right. Move this down a little bit. last one here. Especially since I think I'm going to do more pinks in this last one. I don't want to get too much muddy color. Put that back there. Oh, great. Just got paint all over my newly painted wall. Oop, that's what you get. Hi, Dalpy Tanner. Yeah, you can make coasters. Out of the little panels, what you'd want to do is put, you'd want to resin coat them, and then you'd want to put cork on the back, and use like an epoxy to adhere the cork onto the back. But you can totally make them into coasters. These are little 3x3s. You might want to try the 4x4s for coasters, because these are little smaller glasses would fit on them just fine. But if you have like cocktail glasses, something like that, you'd want to use a little bit bigger. Welcome! We're just getting ready to do my last 8x8 of the night, or at least for now. I'm running out of room for drying. But I think we're going to do mostly pinky colors for this last pour. I'm just kind of getting that ready. While we're here, let me move this over to my mixing area. If I could find my background stand, it would work a little better. Right now I have an actual mounting bracket for my IKEA cabinets that I'm using. With my background stand, I just can't find the top bar. Alrighty. Okay. So this is a little bit bigger one, so we want to make sure I mix up enough paint this time. I'm going to be pouring out of a 5 ouncer for this one. I'm using Floetrol for my pouring medium today. A little bit of water. This is my water. It's pH neutral water. And I have a little bit of silicone. I'm going to use the 3-in-1, but I also have decanted blaster silicone right here. And I spray it into this little Wilton bottle, and I use that sometimes too. Some whites. But what part of Ontario are you in, Lori? Are you in Toronto, or are you in one of the little burbies there, or are you up farther? Or out farther? Where are you from, Dalpy? Red Hook, everybody? Let me know where you're from. Oh, awesome. That's west of Hamilton then, right? Cambridge? Because I think Hamilton, Toronto, and then Hamilton falls in between. I think. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been up there. I used to live not too far from the border. I don't live too far from the border now, just on the opposite side of the country. We used to go, me and my friends would go up there every once in a while. Oh, you're northwest. Okay, cool. I used to have a friend that lived in Hamilton. So. Then my friend Ellie lives in Toronto with her hubby. And all my family lives down in Indiana. Well, most of them anyway. My uncle is my mom's brother's the only one that lives out of state besides me. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting enough paint ready for this little bit bigger pour. Yeah, see, sometimes I'll get little clumps in here. I had a really clumpy bottle of Floetrol for some reason the other day. lids off sometimes. This last bottle was fine though, but I'm almost out of it. So what do you do full time? Are you an artist full time, or do you do other stuff too? Or do you do the most important things and stay and take care of family and all that good fun stuff? Any pets? Anything? All my pets are. Lucy's in here hanging with me, but most of them are sleepy right now. Being sleepy bones. Let's see what other peaks do that here. Keep forgetting that's red. Bless you, sweetie. Okay, Lulu. Aw, Sneezy. That is my cat, Sneezy. Cool. What kind of work do you do? I always find it fascinating what people end up doing. My kitty's over here giving me a look and sneezing. She's like, Mama, cuddle me. She's so naughty. Oh, so naughty, Lulu. She's the naughtiest of my cats. Oh, wow. Awesome. That is at least you have a job that is sought after, and you can basically go wherever you want to work, right? I mean, if you wanted to move across the country, you totally could and still be able to find something to do. It's one of the few jobs I actually see advertised for all the time. Especially out here in the Seattle area. We have we're like a mini Silicon Valley out here. Like my friend, my bestie, lives in Sunnyvale in California, and he used to live in Mountain View right down, you know, from Google and all that. And, you know, the rents there are crazy, right? And he was astonished that our rents have matched San Francisco's rents and then some here. And our pay rates are nowhere near what they get paid there. So it is a real struggle here. I am lucky that I have a terrible commute, but Lord, at least it's reasonable housing-wise out here. Oh yeah, cool. It's too funny. I used to live near Waterloo, but not Ontario. There's a little teeny tiny town in Indiana called Waterloo that has a train station, not too far from where a lot of my family lives. That's way too thick. Sweet. I always liked Toronto, man. Literally the nicest people I have ever met. Even your homeless people were nice and polite. I had never been in a place that was so polite. Like every single person I met was nice and polite, and it was really clean. I try to usually wear gloves, but I ran out today. I ended up pitching what I had left the other day. But yeah, I usually before I take a bath at night, I'll wash my hands off in the kitchen sink to get as much off as I can, and then it all just basically comes off in the tub. If you're just showering though, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Soaking really helps. I don't know, I've just always been one to not be overly fussy. I tend to be kind of a messy art person. Like, my work is very organized and not messy, but like fun stuff like this, and oh gosh, when I did ceramics, oh lord, those girls can tell you some stories. They always no, I couldn't have anything else scheduled on days I did ceramics. I'd end up with, you know, when I was throwing pottery, I'd end up with big stuff all over my belly from the pottery wheel and clay everywhere. I know, I just like getting messy. Something a little cathartic about it. But yeah, the acrylic washes off pretty easy. This one's pretty fun. And I'm going to use a big stir stick to stir this one. Guys over here. Oh, let me show you. I played around for a long time. I'm waiting on the stuff to come from Color Art that I ordered because those golds look amazing that Anne Marie was using. But I found that this from Michaels, and they have a like premium little 2-ounce bottle that's really nice too. The same kind of thing. It's really great and it's very thick. You can see it has a really good shine and luster to it, and it comes in a really, really thick base, so you can thin it out quite a bit. But that worked really well. As well as this stuff, but this is expensive as fuck. But this stuff from Home Depot, it's an exclusive to Home Depot. They have silver and gold based. There's not a ton of colors you can get, but it works really beautiful in paints. Works really, really well. But that gold I showed you is really, has a very similar effect to the one that Anne Marie is using. I do like the luster, the one Anne Marie has a little better, and I ordered some. But I'm just waiting on my Color Art order to come. I was hoping it would come for this week for my birthday, but not so lucky. These the 8x8 and 6x6 canvases I've used tonight are from Jerry's Artorama. I love getting their 8x8s and 6x6s. They're probably my favorite ones to use. The little gallery wraps I got from Michaels. The canvas panels I got from Jerry's as well. So, I really like getting canvases. They have pretty good sales there. It's almost like a rainbow. I don't know if you can see that right here, but it looks almost like a rainbow effect. It's cute. Love it. You really want to know your color theory though, because that really will make a difference. You got to know what colors you can pour next to each other so they don't get muddy. But other than that, and if you don't know color theory, get a color wheel. It'll be your best friend. And try to start with simple combos first. You want to start with contrasty colors, but that are on the similar color wheel. Where is the color wheel? Like turquoise, purples, and pinks, or greens, yellows, and blues. You know, try to do like 2 or 3 colors that are together on the color wheel along with white. Use light and a deep color so you have a lot of contrast in it, and you'll have more success starting a little bit that way. And there's a lot of metallic and holographics over here because the glitter I use is hollow, and this whole section over here is largely that. So I'm going to torch this here to see if we can get more of that pink to pop up through. Oh yeah, that'll be great. Just make sure to, with the sandy color, you're doing a beach. I'm guessing doing beachy. Just make sure to separate the sandy color with white from your blues so it doesn't muddy your blues. And it'll look really nice. It'll probably look exactly like a beach. I've seen some really cool beachy themes lately. I don't want to torch it too much, because I don't want it to dry uneven. So I have one spot here that's almost torched a little too much. If one spot gets a little drier, then it's going to dry uneven and you might get cracking. Oh, iridescents are really pretty. What I tend to do is I'll mix them in with other color. You can use them by themselves. Like these color shift paints, because they already have a pigment mixed in with them. And you can use those by themselves and they look really pretty. But what I also do is I buy, let me move this so I don't get any. I'll let you guys look at that real quick. There's some hollow in there, and the hollow glitter I mixed in with a pouring medium and a gloss medium because I didn't really have any glitter paint that I liked. I have a particular hollow paint I really, really like, or hollow glitter I like. I use it in my nail polish and other stuff. So I mixed my own custom glitter combo. But what I also do is I get these Pearl-X pigments, which the color art has very similar to these. These are just what was available to me now when we did my color art. The color art has a lot more variety. But these Pearl-X you can get at, sometimes Michael's and Hobby Lobby have them, but Dick carries them too. They're a powder. I don't know if you can. They're a powder. They look white, but when they go on, they're kind of like makeup highlighters, really. You could probably use it as a makeup highlighter. But like this one's interference blue, so it shimmers in iridescent blue. But I have iridescent green, violet, orange, and then golden makes interference colors that shift to 2 different. I don't have the Ranger, I don't have access to the Ranger colors, so I haven't used those. We have, oddly enough, for Seattle being an arty area, we don't have very many art stores. And the ones we do all basically carry the same. So they carry Golden, Grumbacher, Winsor Newton. Dick Book probably carries the most variety for us here because they also carry whole bean, and some of the other, like Sennelier, Artful Touch, and Kirkland carries Senneliers. You know what I'm trying to say. They carry them as well. Trying to think here. I'm not sure what else. But no, I don't have access to those. If they are powder, yeah, you should be able to. If they're liquid, as long as they're acrylic based, you can absolutely add them to your paint. Now, if they're embossing powders, I wouldn't, because the embossing powders have a melting resin factor in it, and it's going to leave a texture, which may not be a bad thing, but I'm not sure what that resin's made of. Okay, yeah, as long as it's not embossing, then it should be okay. It's basically the same kind of stuff. So you should be able to add that into your paint. And don't be afraid to try things. Let me tell you, that's how you get the best results, and you'll get results that nobody else is getting because you're trying something that other people haven't thought to try. So don't be afraid to try it. I'm sure it'll work just fine. Yeah, definitely. I always love dual purpose things. Makes my day. See, I do photography, so I can do photography and photograph all my paintings and do a double service for myself. Because then I can also put prints up of my paintings, which I like to do because when they're wet, they look so much different sometimes than when they're dry. There's my little lids. Get my little lids here. I need to go in. They have bigger sizes too of these little cups. They were out of the 3 ounces when I went this last time, so I just picked up some 2s. But I'm going to go get the 3 ounce ones this week. But that's all the painting for right now. I don't know. I might pop in and do some a little later. But I have to work in the morning tomorrow, so that kind of ruins late night fun for me. I usually don't even manage to get on here till like 10 o'clock at night or later. And then I stay up way too late. Yeah, no problem. Glad I was able to answer some questions for you, Lori. Hi, Hanzo. You kind of caught me at the end, but I'm very glad to have you here. Hopefully you guys can catch me next time. Feel free to friend me or follow me, because I try to do live paintings, at least once, twice a week, to kind of answer people's questions about stuff and help them with any issues they may be having when trying this. And I'm just going to, in case I do want to come back and paint some more later, I'm going to mix a little bit of extra, a couple of these. I should pop over to Home Depot to see if they got any Floetrol in, because I'm almost out of my last gallon. Yeah, no problem. I find silicone-wise that the 3-in-1 works the best for me, but the blaster works okay too. I just find you get really teeny tiny cells with the blaster silicone, and I don't always want that. If I get cells, I kind of want a variety of sizes and a little bit bigger cells. Hi, Stricker. Thanks for coming in. You kind of catching me at the end of my painting show, but it'll be on YouTube as well once we're finished here. It should save there for a little later. I'm just mixing up some extra paint, so if I want to do some quick paints later this evening, I can. Hi, Reaper. Oh. So no wonder people are popping in social reposes on too. I don't know where Cupcake went. She was on for a little bit too. what kind of stuff do you guys do? Anybody that just joined us? Are you art people? You just like watch people create? Kind of fun. There's a lot of popsicle sticks. Good thing we can just buy them now. We don't have to eat popsicles, right? Okay. I'm going to go wash my hands and get all this paint off. So I do go through a lot of this color. But if you have any other questions or anything before I head out for the night, just let me know. I'm going to finish putting these colors away and mixing up a little bit for later, so I can answer a few more questions. If you want to see more of my paintings, you can go to my website. It's www.karinwilcox.com. I have paintings for sale there as well as prints, and I have photography up there as well. I have a little YouTube channel that I post videos on too. I don't do just live. Sometimes I'll do planned how-tos or planned paintings that I do on a higher res on my 4K. Although this Brio is supposed to be 4K too, I just can't stream in 4K for some reason. But I can film in 4K with my other camera. Should I talk really quiet and make it an ASMR painting video? Would people like that? It seems really weird for me. And simply neologically, you can learn. You can start painting your nails like that. I have hollow. There, I just painted it with hollow. When it dries, it'll be really pretty. I'm being silly. Sorry, I love her channel. She's so funny. But yeah, I think with those pigments you were talking about, Lori, that it would probably end up very similar to these, like right here. Because this is that Pearl X Interference Blue that I added into that. Makes it very, very fun. And it's really fun playing with the interference shift colors. I have a couple paintings in the other room that I use those in. And they're really fun because as you move around, the painting completely will change. Well, not completely, but I mean the colors shift and it's kind of cool. Almost done here. Have these saved up for later. And just so you know, oranges and yellows will eat your paintings. Not literally eat them, but they will take over in a painting really fast, so use them sparingly. Especially orange. Orange seems to really go for the gusto. Or in this type of painting. Hi, Cleek. So now I have some paint ready for later if I want to do some quick paintings. I like to have things ready so I can just sit down and paint super quick if I want. Alright. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Feel free to send some bars and likes and stuff like that. And follow me. I usually try to do these a few times a week. So, I really appreciate everybody joining me. You guys have a good night. I'll try to pop on later if I can. But I kind of ran out of drying space. So if I can get my new shelves up, we'll do this. Alright, you guys have a great night.